The 5 a.m. club is not what sold you. The people selling it are not the ones who built their success through it. They are usually the ones who wrote about it after they already became successful. We've all seen the videos, the aesthetic shots of a 4:45 a.m. sunrise, the perfectly brewed coffee, the cold plunge, and the 2 hours of meditation before the rest of the world wakes up. It looks like discipline. It feels like the secret to joining the top 1%. But for the vast majority of you watching this, your 5 a.m. routine isn't building your future. It is breaking your biology. As your mentor, I'm going to tell you the truth that the hustle culture gurus won't. Force-feeding yourself a generic routine that doesn't match your biological blueprint is a form of self-sabotage. You're waking up early just to be tired, distracted, and less effective for the remaining 16 hours of your day. You aren't lacking willpower. You're fighting a losing battle against your own neurology. In the next 15 minutes, we are going to look at what the research actually says about cortisol, sleep debt, and peak performance windows. By the end of this video, you will have a personalized sovereignty protocol that produces more results in 90 minutes than most people get in a full day. Stop trying to fit into someone else's brand and start building your own system. Most productivity advice tells you to wake up at 5 a.m., drink water, and meditate. But nobody talks about the invisible traps, habits that look like productivity but drain your most valuable resource, your cognitive energy. When you force yourself awake at 5 a.m. while your body is still in a deep sleep cycle, as you create an immediate spike in cortisol, the stress hormone. This isn't the healthy wake-up spike your body needs. It's an emergency response. You're starting your day in survival mode rather than thrive mode. Pushing through this exhaustion doesn't make you a hero. It makes you 40% less efficient. You might be at your desk at 6 a.m., but if your prefrontal cortex is still foggy from sleep deprivation, you're just performing fake busy work. You spend 3 hours doing a task that a well-rested version of you could finish in 45 minutes. This is the fatigue fallacy. You're trading your high-level decision-making and creativity for the mere appearance of being an early riser. The algorithm of your life doesn't reward you for how early you start. It rewards you for the value you produce. But the secret that the elite actually know is that a morning routine must be based on your specific chronotype, your internal biological clock, not someone else's brand. About 15% of the population are true morning larks who genuinely thrive at 5 a.m. But another 15% are night owls, and the remaining 70% fall somewhere in between. If you are a night owl trying to live like a lark, you aren't just tired. You're technically, socially jet-lagged. This chronotype conflict fragments your attention. Your brain is operating as evolution designed it, scanning for novelty when it should be focusing on deep work. When you fight your biology, you spend your most valuable mental energy just trying to stay awake rather than using it to build your empire. Disciplined people don't have more hours, since they just align their highest value tasks with their peak cognitive windows. If your peak window is at 10 a.m., then forcing a 5 a.m. start is actually a form of productive procrastination. You're doing the hard thing, waking up early, to avoid the real thing, doing deep, focused work. So, if the 5 a.m. club is a myth, what is the fix? It's the first 90 minutes rule. This is the foundation of the sovereignty protocol. The rule is simple. For the first 90 minutes after you wake up, regardless of the time, you allow no phone, no email, and you focus on exactly one priority task. This is how you reclaim the crown of your attention. The second you check your phone in the morning, you have handed over your sovereignty. You have entered a reactive state. You are responding to other people's emergencies, other people's opinions, and in the world's noise. Your brain dopamine pathway lights up from the notifications, but it's a shallow, cheap hit. By avoiding your devices for the first 90 minutes, You allow your brain to transition naturally from sleep into a state of flow. You aren't checking email, you are building. You aren't reacting, you are creating. This 90-minute block is where millionaires are actually made, not in the hour they wake up, but in the focus they maintain once they are awake. Most people end their day feeling busy but unfulfilled because they confused motion with progress. They had a to-do list of 20 items and checked off 15 of them, but the 3 things that actually mattered are still sitting there. Disciplined people use a different system, the one priority mandate. Within your first 90 minutes of the day, aren't you work on the one task that, if completed, would make the entire day a success? This is the big rock strategy. If you try to fill your day with sand, emails, meetings, minor chores, first, you will never have room for the big rocks. But if you put the big rock in the jar first, the sand will naturally fill in the gaps later. By committing to one high-value task during your peak energy window, you ensure that even if the rest of your day falls apart, even if meetings run late or emergencies happen, you have already won the day. This creates a psychological win that builds momentum for the next 24 hours. Time management is a lie built on the false premise that productivity is about managing minutes. In reality, it is about managing energy and attention. A disciplined person might work for only 4 hours a day. Say, but because those 4 hours are spent in a high-energy, deep work zone, they produce more than someone who grinds for 12 hours in a state of mental fatigue. You need to divide your day into 3 zones: the deep work zone, the shallow work zone, and the recovery zone. The deep work zone is for your big rock task. The shallow work zone is for fake busy work like emails and admin tasks. The recovery zone is for strategic breaks that allow your neurology to reset. By scheduling your day based on your energy levels rather than the clock, you stop being busy and start being effective. You stop measuring your worth by the hours you sat at a desk and start measuring it by the quality of the output you generated. And one of the most dangerous habits in 2026 is the spectator mindset. Evaluating your life based on someone else's highlight reel. When you see a 5 a.m. routine video, you are seeing a curated, edited performance. You aren't seeing the burnout, the fatigue, or the fact that they might go back to sleep at 9 a.m. By comparing your behind the scenes with their front of house, you create a cycle of guilt and shame. This shame is what breaks you. You try the routine for 3 days, you fail on day 4 because you're exhausted, and then you tell yourself you are lazy or undisciplined. You aren't lazy. You were just trying to use a tool that wasn't designed for you. The gossip and comparison tax is high. Every hour you spend talking about or watching how others live is an hour you are losing to build your own structure. Now redirect that evaluative energy inward. Ask yourself, what does my best day look like? And build a routine that serves that vision, not someone else's aesthetic. A great morning actually starts the night before. Most people don't have a morning problem, they have a shutdown ritual problem. They work until they drop, they scroll until their eyes hurt, and then they wonder why they feel like a phone zombie the next morning. A disciplined person uses a shutdown ritual to signal to their brain that the day is over. This means no screens at least 60 minutes before bed, because color and light are dopamine triggers that keep your brain in scanning mode. It means writing down the big rock for tomorrow, so your brain doesn't have to keep refreshing that task in your short-term memory all night. By clearing your mental desktop before you sleep, you ensure that when you wake up, you're ready to hit the ground running with clarity, not clutter. Consistency is the strongest algorithm signal for success. But consistency doesn't mean perfection. It means never breaking the chain, even on your worst days. This is why you need a minimum viable morning. On a perfect day, you might do your 90-minute deep work block. But on a day when you're traveling, sick, or facing a crisis, your minimum might be just 10 minutes of focused thought. By having a version of your routine that is too small to fail, you maintain the identity of a disciplined person. You aren't busy trying to fix a failed plan. You are just relentlessly consistent. Success isn't about the intensity of one day, so it's about the compounding effect of 1,000 days where you did something toward your primary goal. Stop trying to be a 5 a.m. club member for a week and start being a 90-minute sovereign for a decade. You are one physical action away from a different life, not one more realization or one more video. I want you to be honest with yourself right now. How many mornings this week did you lose to the digital slot machine before you even got out of bed? Write down in the comments, what is the one thing you're going to remove from your first 90 minutes tomorrow? Is it the phone? Is it the email? Is it the news? Just name it. Identifying the trap is the first step toward reclaiming your hours. I've built a specific roadmap for the CEO weekly planning method that helps you identify your big rocks so you never wake up wondering what to do. And that video is on your screen right now. If you're ready to stop being busy and start being productive, watch that next. Subscribe to join the 1% who manage energy, not time. The sun is going to rise regardless. The only question is, will you be a spectator or a creator? I'll see you in the next video.